All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Ryan Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao may not be a done deal after all, as Golden Boy's Matchmaker blocked a member of Manny Pacquiao's team from even communicating with him about this fight. Let's talk about why that would be and why that's important to your life or your boxing life in this video. All right, welcome back. I cannot tell you how happy I am to talk about this one because it's a fight that I think may fall through because it just shouldn't happen. There's too many other right things that could take place in this world other than this fight between Manny Pacquiao and Ryan Garcia. But let's take about 3 steps back and go over what has happened and why we're talking about this at all. So Manny Pacquiao is a senator from the Philippines, very, very influential man in the Philippines. He still is extremely, extremely influential in the world because of what he does in the boxing ring. So he, because of his international status, is probably the most sought after talent that there is at 147 pounds. Absolutely mega talent, has been super talent for many, many years at the 130 pound division. 100, I mean, how many? It's like 8 or 9 divisions. Well, some people say it's 8. I think it's 7 because he wasn't really one at 140, but he definitely was at below 122. He was at it at 126, 130, 135, 140, 147, and a little bit of 154. Can't remember what the smaller numbers that he was when he was kind of a local Filipino fighter. But once he broke into the big time, all those big numbers, he went up, his numbers went up, just continued to go up. And his numbers continue to stay legit to this day, right? Not only, in the number of championships and the number of decades that he's been a champion, but also in, just the raw popularity that he has with all the millions and millions and millions of very, very dedicated followers that he has in the Philippines that he brings to the table whenever he comes to the United States to fight, right? Ryan Garcia, likewise, has just... He's, very early in his career, very young in his career, but he has just tremendous potential to be able to deliver results to whoever he's fighting with or for, whatever network that is, whatever promoter that he is, because he has that kind of special, he just has that special talent that you're looking for in a young man, whether that be what he does in the ring or, kind of his magnetism and, just mass popularity outside, whether it to be to young men that want to be like him or young girls that want to be with him, whatever the case is, that's what Ryan Garcia is. And, these guys obviously could make a fight together that would mean a lot. But when you look at the two paths of them, it doesn't make sense. And that's why I think that the matchmaker from Golden Boy blocked Senator Pacquiao's advisor from talking to him about the fight, right? Because if you're a matchmaker and you say, okay, and you look at it, man, it's an easy way out. Well, let me put it this way. Number one, it's an underperforming fight for Manny Pacquiao, really. And it is a too risky, and honestly, is a political situation for Ryan Garcia that could really have him fall victim to a lot of animosity from people that believe that other people should get that shot and should be able to make that connection, get that hookup, with the Asian international Asian star. Now, and who could those people be? Obviously, it's the people in Texas, man, because this is the biggest port right now for boxing, right? If you want to have a major pay-per-view fight, if you want a bunch of money put into your fights and, and have stadiums available for you and all those things available for you, right now, during the pandemic, during this whole COVID thing, you got to come to Texas to do it. So for me, I'm looking at it and saying, yeah, from a matchmaker standpoint first, well, I guess that's probably the best way to do it. From the matchmaking standpoint, it's too much too early for Ryan Garcia. I'm not sure if his skill set, if his experience, if the team around him really carry enough weight and really have had enough, exposure to handle a big moment like would be brought to the table with somebody like Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Manny Pacquiao is a guy that is known to billions and billions of people. That spotlight is extremely, extremely bright, right? The rewards are extremely big, but hey, man, you just never know what's going to happen, if, when that pressure is put on that young man, when that pressure is put on that young team. I would say, hey, bring them up the rankings, making sure they make a whole lot of money, make sure he's making a lot of money, that he's getting challenges, that the fights that he's having or the jobs that he's looking at, in the boxing sense are what it's necessary to make him and get him where he's going to be in the future. But I would say, man, look, don't just throw him out there and put him out there in a situation where he can't deliver. Because if he's offering that, if he says, hey, man, and he's writing checks with his mouth with that guy at the Philippines, and he can't cash them, you get my point. That's going to be trouble in that ring, and you just don't want Ryan to be in that situation this early in his career, man. And then for Manny Pacquiao, though, I think it's a missed opportunity because this is the best time to connect with these young dudes in Texas, specifically Errol Spence Jr. I can understand why, because of the skill and what's going on in the ring with Errol, where Manny could say, you know what, maybe I can get more out of a fight with Ryan Garcia in terms of, just raw, uncut, whatever it is that he's looking for out of that fight, whether it's publicity or whether it's just raw cash or whether it is, notoriety or whether it's, an option, to have more of his fighters, be able to be on fight cards and, and grow his stable, whatever that is, man. I just think that it is a lot more. It makes a lot more sense for him to go the Errol Spence Jr. route. If you look at, matter of fact, if you even look at the things that these guys have going, because we talk about what goes on inside the ring. Personally, I know it's a foregone conclusion what happens in these matchups, right? Ryan Garcia is going to lose to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is just too much, and Ryan Garcia just does not have. He just doesn't have the institutional strength behind him. He doesn't have the, he just doesn't have what it takes right now to do what he wants to do. But I do believe when he gets up to 147, when his weight really gets up and he gets his man strength, a guy like Manny Pacquiao might just be a walk in the park for him, man. But I don't think that's the case now. The guy that's ready for Manny Pacquiao in pretty much every way that you can look at it, inside the ring, what it means for these guys with their legacy, what it means, for the communities that they're from. And that's some things we shouldn't underestimate, man. There is, a real something to boxing about pride. The pride that the Philippines have in Manny Pacquiao and his accomplishments. And when he comes to Dallas, Texas, and he takes over Dallas, Texas by beating the young, fresh killer in Errol Spence Jr., when he's able to go there and conquer that young man, hey, that's just more accolades. That's more things that he can share with his people and take back, and they can feel pride for years and years and years and years to come. Ducking Errol Spence Jr. and all that money, I don't know if that's something that's going to really rest well on his legacy, even though clearly it's set. He's a senator. He has a significant chance of becoming a president, and I know that that's something that he's looking forward to. And, even that situation, being a president, dude, it can't hurt, bringing a bunch of money to some billionaires in Texas. They may very well find a way to make sure that they support you in your elections. But, that's my take on the situation. You let me know what you think. I don't think Manny Pacquiao should take this fight with Ryan Garcia. I don't think Ryan should take the fight with Manny Pacquiao. And I think that Errol Spence is the fight for Manny Pacquiao right now. And they shouldn't even wait another fight to go. They should just get that done, man. Hopefully, maybe be able to talk to the governor of Texas and see if they can maybe open up, the crowd a little bit bigger, maybe double the size of the crowd, maybe increase the ticket prices by 30%, 35%, something like that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. I will definitely try to get back at you with your comments. Thank you so much. And with that, I'm out. Peace.